I challenged myself to sew every day for 30 days. What did I learn? What would I change? And would I do it again? Stick around to find out. In the month of September, I decided to sew every day for 15 minutes. And by sew, I mean focus on myself and my hobby, which could have been sewing, cutting, ironing, or cleaning and organizing my sewing space. Why did I decide to do this? Well, it's hard out there to make me time, right? So we all have day jobs, caretaking responsibilities, whether that's our kids, our families, our parents, our partners. We have household responsibilities. We have pets. Some of us are crazy enough to have chickens and other things going on, right? So there's a lot of time spent caretaking those around us. And I don't know about you, but it is really hard for me to go, okay, what can I do to kind of fill my own cup? So my goal for this in September was really to prioritize a schedule that made me time. And that is what I did. So would I do this again? Yes, but there are some things I would change. So hang out with me and I'll let you know what those things are. The first challenge I had trying to sew every day for 15 minutes was building a consistent routine. It was very, very difficult for me to want to come downstairs after a long day, right? So I get up, I get the kids out the door, I go to work, I get the kids back off the bus, dinner, clean up, right? All the things that everybody does, normal stuff. But then as soon as I would get the kids in bed, I would sit down and want to become a couch potato. That just was my routine. I would go into doom scrolling on my phone and become into potato mode. And so I really wanted to get out of that instead of, and spend those 2 hours I was wasting a night scrolling, doing something for myself that I could feel good about. That was the hardest part. And in the beginning, you'll even see, so I documented all of this stuff via YouTube short, but in the beginning of those videos, at the beginning of the month, you'll hear me even complain like, ugh, I don't want to do this.
Okay, it's day 3 of trying to sew every day. Did I fall asleep putting my 4-year-old to bed tonight? Yes. Did I still come downstairs and sew? Also, yes. I wasn't really in the mood to do it.
But then as the month would go on, I started to just know like, okay, the kids are in bed. Let's go. Going downstairs. I'm not even sitting down. And I would come downstairs and I was really looking forward to it most days, right? Some days we all are tired and, we just want to become a potato. But most days I was looking forward to it. And if I had little gaps in my day, I was just so excited to think about what I could be doing that night in my sewing room. So that was like a shift, right? Having something to look forward to each day that was for me, right? And so that did wonders for just my mental space. So I highly recommend it from that perspective. There were days where like I did all of those things and then I took the kids to soccer and had to go run an errand or whatever it was. And it was hard. And so sticking to it for a whole month was hard, but it was definitely worth it in my opinion. An unexpected benefit that I was not planning on was what the impact of this challenge did for my sewing space. So I am lucky enough to have a very large room that is dedicated just to my sewing space. This was a major perk when we bought this house. It's in the basement and it's just kind of this bonus room. And I was like, that is going to be my craft room. So I have this wonderful, wonderful space. We've lived in this house for 5 years and I have really never spent enough time. Like I would come downstairs, I would get done what I needed to get done and I would go back up. I never took the time to organize and plan and really enjoy this space, which honestly kind of made it difficult for me to want to sew. The biggest perk of this challenge was I had to start off this challenge by kind of cleaning and organizing and making space for this. And it just snowballed. It snowballed. So like every time I'd be like, oh, what can I do to make this a little bit better and that a little bit better? And that resulted in me kind of changing the layout of the room, moving things around. My husband got recruited to kind of move some furniture around and get rid of some shelves that I haven't liked. So I finally got rid of these curtains that I hated that they've been up since we moved in and they were actually from the previous owners. So I haven't replaced them yet. Some days my 15 minutes would be spent kind of taking care of those things that I've previously neglected. So as a result of this 30-day challenge, I now have a space that I'm not completely done with by far, but I am so much happier to be in this space. I look forward to it. It's mine. I have reorganized things, purchased things, shelving, lots of things. I have plans now for what I want to do in the space to make it more mine and to make it somewhere that I love coming to. So that was not something I was anticipating as a result of this challenge, but I am so happy with that result. And I really look forward to continuing working on that, working on organizing the space and making it mine and making it somewhere I love to be. The area that I need to improve upon for next time is planning. So on August 31st, I'm one of those people that love a fresh week, a fresh month. Like I'm always making plans and setting goals. And so it was August 31st. I barely sewed at all in August, right? It's summer, you're ending summer, the kids are finishing up summer camps, you're getting back ready for school. I barely touched my sewing machine. I barely made any time for myself. So I decided I needed to make a goal for September to create some me time, which resulted in the Sewing Everyday Challenge. This was great, but it was done on a whim. I gave myself no notice. I was starting the next day, and I announced it on social media on YouTube and was like, guess what, everyone? Everyone wasn't that many people back then, but you know what? I still made a public declaration and said, I'm doing this, watch for it. And so I knew I had to do it. And it was great that I did that. And I'm glad that I did it because of all those benefits I received, but I was not organized. So that meant that I didn't really know what I was working on. The space wasn't really ready for that. I had no clue what I was going to try to accomplish sewing wise from that. But there was some beauty in that too, right? Every day I got to decide what I wanted to do. It didn't feel like work. I was just kind of going with the flow. However, next time, and yes, there will be a next time, I am going to try to plan at least some bigger projects that I want to make some progress on. And hopefully when I go to do it again, the room will be ready and I won't have to spend any time, getting the room ready. Okay, so I sewed for every day. I spent time in my sewing room for the month of September. And what did I accomplish? I had to make a list. So if you see me looking over this way, it's because I had to make a list because I accomplished more than I thought. First, as we talked about, my sewing space is more organized. Second, I decided because I spent so much time in September that it was finally time to take the plunge and get this sewing machine that I've been eyeing for well over a year. So I got my new Janome 6700P, which I love. I got ready for my first quilt show. So I made 2 sleeves, I got binding on, and I got my quilts ready and into the quilt show and attended my first quilt show seeing my own quilts hanging, which was so fun. And I can figure out a way to YouTube link a video about that if you're curious about how that went. I cut and started sewing my Pinnacle Pop pattern, and in these pink colors, they're still sitting right here. And so that was great. I've really enjoyed doing that. I made some adorable ghost blocks for Halloween, which are so cute. I hope that I get something done with them, but at least they're there. And if I don't finish them by Halloween, which probably isn't going to happen at this point, I have them ready for next Halloween. I made a lot of videos, at least 30 videos in September, shorts about my journey. And so I learned a lot about filming, getting organized, getting good lighting for filming, editing, and kind of how that process all works. And as a result, I met so many of you, which has been wonderful. You leave me amazing comments. You're so encouraging, especially on my quilt show videos. It has been wonderful and something I would have never predicted this challenge would have brought me you all. So thank you for listening to me talk about quilting. And I love that so many of you looked forward to my videos every day. That was just it's awesome. I love it. And with that, I hit some pretty exciting subscriber and follower milestones, which was so fun and exciting for me. I did my first YouTube live with the guy who sews, which was so scary, but so rewarding. And I met so many of you through that. And that was wonderful. Everybody in his audience was so welcoming. He was great and so welcoming. And it really kind of snowballed my efforts in YouTube. I knew I had been wanting to go live, but I was nervous about it. And that was a great way for me to get going. And as a result, I was brave enough to start doing my own lives. So now I do lives on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And that has been so fun connecting with you all. We talk about silly things, like we've talked about what our favorite math problems are, old sewing machines, our favorite notions. Everybody has such great tips and tricks, and it's just been so fun chatting with you all. And I really look forward to Thursday nights now, and that would have never happened had I not been in my sewing room every day and kind of working on this goal. I accomplished a lot when you kind of think about it that way. It's been absolutely wonderful. And like I said, my biggest benefit is just meeting all of you and hanging out with you and having someone to talk about quilting, and you guys will listen to it and you seem to enjoy it, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. So will I do this again? Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. And I think I'm going to do it in January after the holidays pass, because we all know that we need to make me time after we survive the holidays, no matter what you're doing, kids, no kids, by yourself, around people, right? Like the holidays are trying times for people for a variety of reasons, good reasons, bad reasons, right? In January, me, as I just said, I loved setting a new goal. So I think January, I'm going to do this again. So let me know if you're interested. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll maybe set something up for us to do it together so we can share our progress if you want. If you made it this far, thank you. Love you. consider subscribing, joining my Facebook group, joining my newsletter, just so I can keep in touch and kind of let you know. If you join my newsletter, I really send one email a month, kind of just like an update on what's going on with me in my life and any new content I've put out. And then just on occasion, I'll go, hey, this new quilt pattern released. So you might get 2 emails in a month from me, but I don't really have the time or desire to, spam your email box. So that's what you can expect from me on the newsletter list. Don't forget, I do lives on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I really hope that if you've made it this far, you find a way to make time for yourself, whatever that is. Is it sewing? Is it reading? Is it whatever? Find the time for yourself every day. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and okay, bye.